Hi everyone, I'm just down here on Sing Street in Dublin 8. I'm just pointing out a few important things to show you how dysfunctional Ireland is at the moment. I'm at a church, actually. It's St. Kevin's Church, beautiful Gothic style church that was built and opened in 1872. It's actually the only place in Dublin that still hosts a Latin Mass. So beautiful church, great history in this area, next to Sing Street, CBS, where I went to school. But I'll explain something about this now in a moment, what's going on. Behind me is a building that was originally a building that was headquarters for the Girl Guides. You can see there, last year in November it went up on the market for €2.5 million. Now people will be familiar with that building on Sing Street because just Archbishop Burn Hall behind me is where the Commitments was filmed, the famous film. Alan Parker was the director back in the early 90s that was synonymous with Dublin during that period. But it was sold, the building, just recently for €3.15 million. That was over 20% above the asking price. And soon it's become an international protection centre. This was agreed. Absolute lunacy in Ireland. More and more money is being funneled into this industry rather than serving the interests of the people. And it's been owned by a company called Hostel Accommodation Limited, which are akin to the family. They were bailed out by NAMA, and they're behind casinos as well. So bailed out previously before in Irish society, now they're back up and running, and they've a big money-making racket with the immigration industry as well. And it's interesting, this is well above the market price. When you consider the vacancy, in particular around commercial buildings, about 15% vacancy around Dublin City at the moment. And what's important with this is the fact that there's a school quite close by. But what's really important with this, and what I really want to highlight around this, is there's plenty of money for this industry, but no money for basic services and facilities and public schools. Because just down the street here is Sing Street, CBS, part of the old property here actually was used for international protection as well, so-called emergency accommodation. But the school down here dates back to 1864, just down this street here, so people know Sing Street. Famous for the film as well, people might know the film Sing Street by John Carney. As you can see, back in 2008 this became a Irish school, so a Gaelic school in the national part of the school. And there are plans now to push the secondary into a Gaelic cloister without any consultation with the parents, the community, with the teachers. And this was planned with the Edmund Rice Trust, which controls the school since the CBS, Christian Butler School, was passed on to them many years ago. So as you can see, that's Sing Street School. But as I said, with the school here, this was part of Dublin, great part of Dublin history. So many famous past pupils such as Anson O'Toole, Carol O'Donnell, former president, Eamon Andrews, of course, Gay Byrne, people remember, Eddie Jordan, just recently passed away as well, went to Sing Street, and many more. And it's been serving the community for well over 100, nearly 160 years. 1864 is when it opened. Now, of course, synonymous with Young Scientists exhibition as well, and so many winners over the years of that, due to the great work of a number of the teachers who were in the school. But the real important point is with this is that there's no consultation with the community, and there's no money to open a proper Gaelic cloister in the community, and they've been looking for that for a long number of years. A lot of campaigners in the area, which I fully support, because there is a catchment area of a lot of Gaelic schools, but no second level schools for people to go and learn and continue to learn and use Irish. But it shows you plenty of money for the industry of the immigration industrial complex, but no money for opening a new school and perhaps One thought would be using the commercial buildings in around the local area, for instance, who have a huge amount of vacancy, to open a new school and invest in proper facilities in schools. And this is where Ireland has a growing population. We'll see what's going on in Ireland, in particular with the immigration industry. But there seems to be no end of money for this, but then no money to open new schools or Gael Coláiste, and the attack essentially on working class communities, such as around this area. It's also a Dutch school at the moment, which is classed as being a disadvantaged school. And what's generally happened is, with gentrification of areas, working class communities are being squeezed out of areas of Dublin City. And this is a case in point to what's really happening in Dublin today. As I said, when there's plenty of money for this immigration industry, but no money for proper services and facilities that should serve the wider community. And of course, the fact that it's a public school shows you how really much contempt the establishment have for public schools, working class communities, in particular, that serve the community so well for many, many years. As I said, I went to school there myself. Many family members before me as well went to that school, and it served the community fantastically well. So should we get behind to keep the school as a school generally for the working class of the area, a lot who are being squeezed out of the area, as I've done a video before in Charlemont Street and many more of videos where wider community people came from and they served this community. But again, it's just a case in point to what's going on in our society. Absolute lunacy, madness. Need to speak out about it, and please share my videos about what's going on in Ireland today. So thanks a lot for the support of my videos. Really appreciate them. Press subscribe and please share them as well far and wide. So take care. Slán.